the engagement nobody saw coming. The internet did not find out Lil Wayne was engaged through a romantic speech, a red carpet moment, or some perfect Instagram announcement. It found out the way celebrity chaos always seems to break now. One report, one photo, one quiet clue at a time, until the entire rap world turned into detectives overnight. And this time, the name at the center of the storm was not another superstar, not another industry model already familiar to fans, but a young woman from Indiana who suddenly became attached to one of the most influential rappers alive. When reports first claimed that Lil Wayne had quietly proposed to Madi Cannon, also known online as Madi K, fans froze. Wayne, the same artist who shaped an entire generation of rap, the same man who mentored Drake and built Young Money into a powerhouse, was reportedly engaged again. But the detail that made the story explode was the age gap. Wayne is in his 40s. Madi is in her 20s. That alone was enough to set social media on fire. But the backlash did not stop at numbers. People started asking who she was, where she came from, how long she had been around Wayne, and why nobody close to him had said anything. The strange part was that Wayne himself stayed silent. No denial, no confirmation, no long explanation. He simply kept moving, like he has done through almost every public storm in his career. Then Drake's name entered the conversation. Not with a serious statement, not with some emotional defense, but with the kind of amused reaction that made fans look twice. Drake, the man Wayne helped turn into a superstar, was reportedly finding the whole situation funny. And when the student reacts to the mentor's private life, the culture pays attention. Then came the photo with Skip Bayless. It looked casual, almost too casual. Wayne standing with Skip, and Madi there too. No dramatic caption, no announcement. But for fans, that picture did more than any press release could have done. It made the rumor feel real. So now the question is bigger than an engagement. Is this love, privacy, strategy, or another chapter in Wayne's complicated romantic history? Drop your city in the comments right now. If you think Wayne is serious this time, press 1. If you think the internet is reading too much into it, press 2. And subscribe, because this story gets deeper with every chapter. The woman from Indiana. Before this story exploded, most rap fans had never heard the name Madi Cannon. She was not a Grammy-winning singer, not a reality TV veteran, not a famous industry girlfriend who had spent years floating around hip-hop circles. She was reportedly a 2-3-year-old social media personality from Kokomo, Indiana, a small Midwestern city far removed from the private jets, backstage rooms, and luxury circles that usually surround Lil Wayne. That contrast is exactly what made the story feel so unexpected. Wayne has spent decades around the biggest names in entertainment. He has dated models, public figures, and women already familiar with fame. But Madi's image was different. Her online presence appeared more connected to body positivity, fashion, and personal confidence than celebrity drama. She was not moving like someone trying to dominate headlines. At least not at first. But once her name was attached to Wayne, the internet treated every post like evidence. Fans searched old clips, compared tour footage, studied photos, and looked for any sign that she had been around him longer than people realized. A video allegedly showed her near Wayne backstage before a performance. Another post suggested she had been seen at tour stops. Then came the cozy selfie, the heart emoji, and suddenly fans felt like they were watching a hidden relationship slowly surface in public. What made it even more intense was the silence. Madi did not give a full interview explaining the relationship. Wayne did not sit down and clarify the timeline. Their camps did not rush to clean up confusion. Instead, the silence created more space for speculation. And on the internet, silence never stays empty. Fans fill it with theories. Some people saw Madi as a regular young woman pulled into a world she may not have been prepared for. Others questioned whether she understood the weight of being linked to a rap legend, whose personal life has always attracted attention. Then there were people who defended her immediately, pointing out that she is an adult and should not be attacked simply because fans are shocked by the relationship. Still, the fact remained. One young influencer from Indiana had suddenly become part of a national conversation involving Wayne, Drake, Skip Bayless, Reginae Carter, Denise Bideau, and the entire online rap community. And she had done it without saying much at all. That is the power of mystery and celebrity culture. Sometimes one quiet person in the background can become louder than everyone speaking. Drake laughs. Fans listen. Drake's reaction changed the temperature of the whole story. Because when random fans joke online, it is just noise. But when Drake reacts to Lil Wayne's personal life, people pay attention for a different reason. Drake is not just another rapper watching from the outside. He is part of Wayne's legacy. He is one of the biggest success stories Wayne ever helped create. That is why the reported reaction hit differently. It was not described as outrage. It was not some aggressive shot or disrespectful public attack. It was amusement. Drake reportedly found the situation funny, and that one tone gave the internet enough fuel for days. Fans began wondering what exactly he thought was funny. Was it the age gap, the secrecy, the sudden reveal, or the fact that Wayne, after decades of fame, was still somehow able to surprise everybody? For longtime fans, the Wayne and Drake connection carries history. Wayne believed in Drake before the world fully understood him. Young Money became the platform that helped Drake become a global force. So when Drake appears amused by Wayne's reported engagement, it creates a strange full-circle moment. The protege is now watching the mentor become the headline. But Drake's reaction also showed how the story had moved beyond gossip. It had entered rap culture. Once other artists, bloggers, and commentators started discussing it, Wayne's private decision became a public debate about age, power, privacy, and celebrity relationships. And because Wayne has always been both respected and unpredictable, nobody knew how to read it. Some fans laughed along with Drake. They saw it as harmless, just another wild headline in Wayne's already legendary life. Others thought the jokes went too far. They argued that Wayne is grown, Madi is grown, and the public has no right to act like every private relationship requires a committee vote. But the internet does not usually handle nuance well. The story became split into camps. One camp said Wayne was living his life and deserved peace. Another said the age difference made them uncomfortable. A third camp just wanted more proof, more photos, more reactions, more drama. And through it all, Wayne stayed quiet. That made Drake's reaction even louder by comparison. Sometimes the person saying the least becomes the person everyone studies the most. Wayne said nothing, so people studied Drake. Wayne did not explain, so people interpreted laughter. Wayne did not confirm, so every reaction around him became evidence. In hip-hop, silence can protect a legend, but it can also turn everyone else into the narrator, the photo that changed everything. For weeks, the story lived in the strange space between rumor and belief. People had reports, they had online clues, they had alleged tour sightings, but what they did not have was the one thing celebrity gossip always demands: a picture that feels undeniable. Then Skip Bayless entered the story in the most unexpected way possible. Skip is not a rapper. He is not part of Wayne's label. He is not a gossip blogger trying to chase engagement rumors. But his connection to Wayne is public and friendly, and that made his role even more surprising. When Skip visited Wayne before a tour moment, a casual photo surfaced. Wayne was there, Skip was there, and Madi was there too. That one image changed the entire conversation. It was not dramatic. That is what made it powerful. There was no giant caption screaming, confirmation, no staged romantic pose, no announcement from Wayne's team. Just a simple photo that placed Madi beside Wayne in a way fans could no longer ignore. Suddenly, the online theories felt less like rumors and more like a puzzle finally snapping into place. People began saying that Skip Bayless had accidentally confirmed the relationship. That is what made the moment so unusual. Wayne, one of the most famous rappers in history, had not confirmed anything himself. His reported fiancée had not explained anything directly. But a sports commentator's photo did what neither of them had done publicly. And that is how modern celebrity stories work now. A relationship does not need a press release when one photo can become the press release. A caption does not need to say engagement when fans are ready to write the headline themselves. The image also gave critics something new to analyze. People compared their body language. They zoomed in. They discussed whether Wayne looked relaxed, whether Madi looked comfortable, whether Skip knew the chaos his post would cause. It became another example of how fans turn tiny public moments into full investigations. But beneath the jokes and the detective work was something more revealing. Fans wanted proof because Wayne's private life has always felt like a mystery with missing pages. He is famous enough that everyone feels connected to him, but private enough that nobody really knows what is happening until the rumor is already loud. That photo became a turning point because it made the invisible visible. It did not answer every question. It did not confirm every detail. But it told fans this was not just internet smoke. There was something real enough for Madi to be standing in Wayne's world. And once the world saw that, the conversation became impossible to stop. Regine's silence speaks loudest. While Drake's amusement gave fans something to quote, and Skip's photo gave them something to analyze, Regine Carter's silence gave them something deeper to question. Wayne's eldest daughter has grown up in the public eye. She understands fame, scrutiny, and how quickly the internet can turn a family matter into a trending debate. But when the engagement rumors took over social media, Reginae did not rush to speak. That silence became its own headline. The reason people focused on her reaction is obvious. Reginae is reportedly older than Madi Cannon. That detail alone made the conversation uncomfortable for many fans. A daughter older than her father's reported fiancé creates the kind of family dynamic the internet cannot resist discussing. But Reginae chose not to publicly feed the drama. Some saw her silence as maturity. She has her own life, her own career, and her own public image. She does not need to become a commentator every time her father's name trends. Others wondered whether the silence meant discomfort, disapproval, or simply a decision to stay away from a conversation that was already messy enough. The truth is, nobody outside the family knows. And that is exactly why her silence became so powerful. In a world where everyone posts reactions instantly, choosing not to speak can feel louder than a paragraph. People project meaning onto silence because it gives them room to imagine. Wayne and Reginae's relationship has always been watched closely by fans. She is not just his daughter, she is part of his public story. She represents the personal side of a man whose music shaped millions of lives. So when Wayne's romantic choices become a headline, people naturally look toward the family to see whether the people closest to him are comfortable. But there is also a danger in that. Families are complicated, and public pressure can make them even harder. Reginae does not owe the internet a statement about her father's relationship. She does not have to defend him, criticize him, or explain how she feels just because fans are curious. Still, the situation reveals why this engagement story hit so hard. It was never just about Wayne and Madi. It was about everyone connected to Wayne being pulled into the spotlight. Drake as the famous student, Skip as the accidental witness, Reginae as the silent daughter, and fans as the endless jury. In the end, Reginae's silence may be the smartest response of all. Because sometimes, when the whole internet is shouting, staying quiet is the only way to keep your peace. The past relationship that changed the reaction. The reason fans reacted so strongly to Wayne's reported engagement was not only the age gap, it was also the timing. Before Madi Cannon became the center of the conversation, Wayne's previous relationship with Denise Bidot had already ended in a very public and emotional way. That breakup changed how people viewed everything that came after. Denise Bidot was not just another name linked to Wayne. She was a model and body positivity advocate who had been connected to him for years. Their relationship was public, on and off, and serious enough that fans recognized her as a major part of Wayne's personal life. So when things ended, people paid attention. And when Denise spoke out online, the breakup became bigger than a quiet celebrity split. She publicly criticized the timing of the breakup, saying it happened on Mother's Day. She also made serious allegations about how she was treated during the relationship. Those claims spread quickly across social media and entertainment blogs. Wayne did not publicly address them in detail, and because of that, the story remained unresolved in the public eye. That unresolved feeling mattered. When news of a new engagement appeared not long afterward, some fans felt the emotional whiplash. They had just watched one relationship end with painful accusations and public fallout, and now Wayne was reportedly preparing to marry someone else. For supporters, it looked like Wayne moving forward. For critics, it looked too fast, too quiet, and too complicated. This is where celebrity timelines become dangerous. Fans only see fragments. They see a breakup post, a rumor, a photo, a tour clip, a new woman in the background. They do not see private conversations, real timelines, healing, apologies, misunderstandings, or decisions made away from camera. But because the fragments are public, people treat them like a complete story. The Denise situation gave the engagement backlash another layer. People were no longer just asking, who is Madi? They were asking, what happened before this? Was there enough time? Is Wayne repeating patterns? Is this love? Or is it another emotional storm waiting to happen? Those questions may not be fair, but they are part of why the story kept growing. Wayne's past relationships shaped the public's reaction to his future. And in hip-hop, reputation follows every new headline. Still, the responsible way to view it is simple. Allegations should be treated seriously, but not turned into entertainment without care. Relationships can be messy. Public judgment can be cruel. And the truth is often more complicated than a viral post. Why fans cannot stop talking about the age gap. The age gap became the loudest part of the story because it is easy to understand, easy to argue about, and impossible for fans to ignore. Wayne is a rap legend in his 40s. Madi is reportedly in her early 20s. Both are adults, but the difference in life experience immediately pushed the relationship into a larger cultural debate. Some people looked at it and said there was nothing to discuss. Wayne is grown. Madi is grown. If they are happy, the public should move on. That side of the audience believes fans have become too comfortable judging relationships they do not understand. To them, the backlash felt less like concern and more like people wanting control over a celebrity's private choices. But another group could not shake the discomfort. They pointed out that Wayne has been famous since before Madi was born. He has money, fame, influence, history, and a level of power most people will never experience. Even if both people are adults, critics argue that the imbalance is what makes fans uneasy. It is not just about age, it is about status, influence, and life stage. That debate turned comment sections into war zones. Some fans defended Madi from cruel jokes. Others questioned Wayne's choices. Some joked about Drake laughing. Some brought up Regine being older than Madi. Some compared the situation to other celebrity relationships with large age gaps. And as always, the internet mixed valid concerns with disrespectful noise. What made this conversation even more intense was Madi's public image. She was not presented as a hardened industry figure. She came across as a young influencer from a small city, someone whose life may have changed overnight because of one relationship. That made some people protective, and others skeptical. Wayne's silence also kept the debate alive. If he had made a clear statement, fans might have had less room to speculate. But by saying nothing, he allowed every person online to build their own version of the story. Some imagined a private love story. Others imagined a rushed decision. Some saw happiness. Others saw a pattern. The truth may sit somewhere quieter than the argument. Two adults may have chosen each other. Fans may still have questions. Both things can be true. But what the reaction proves is that Wayne is not just any rapper. His life is culture. His relationships become public events because fans feel like they have watched him grow, struggle, win, fall, and rise again. And when a legend makes a surprising move, the whole world wants a seat at the table. Wayne's pattern of privacy. Lil Wayne has never moved like an artist who explains himself every time the world demands it. That is part of his mystique. For decades, he has lived through praise, criticism, rumors, health scares, legal issues, relationship drama, and career pressure without turning every moment into a public speech. He lets the music speak. He lets the headlines fade. And when people want answers, he often gives them silence. That pattern is exactly why the reported engagement became so strange. In another celebrity's world, there might have been a soft launch, a romantic caption, a magazine interview, a podcast appearance, or a carefully staged announcement. With Wayne, fans got fragments. A report, a few images, a backstage sighting, a selfie, a photo with Skip Bayless, and no clear statement from the man himself. This kind of privacy creates power, but it also creates confusion. Wayne does not appear desperate to convince fans of anything. That makes him seem untouchable, but it also leaves every open space available for rumors. When the public does not get clarity, it invents clarity, and Wayne's romantic history gives people even more to discuss. Reports have described this as another major engagement in a life already filled with complicated love stories. His first marriage to Toya Johnson happened many years ago and ended long ago. Since then, fans have watched different relationships rise and fall around him. That history makes some people skeptical whenever marriage is mentioned again. Skepticism became part of the engagement conversation almost immediately. Some fans asked whether this would actually lead to a wedding. Others wondered whether the ring was a serious step or a way to calm a private relationship under public pressure. Those theories may be unfair, but they spread because Wayne's history gives the internet something to compare. Still, privacy should not automatically be treated as guilt or manipulation. Sometimes people stay quiet because they want peace. Sometimes they avoid public statements because every word gets twisted. And sometimes, especially for someone like Wayne, silence is simply the habit of a man who has survived fame by not giving the world everything it asks for. That is why this story remains so magnetic. It has just enough evidence to feel real, and just enough silence to feel unfinished. Fans can see the outline, but not the full picture. They know Madi exists. They know she has been connected to Wayne. They know the reports say engagement, but they do not know what Wayne truly feels, what his family thinks privately, or whether this relationship will last. And as long as that mystery remains, the conversation will not die. Love story or public storm? By the time the rumors, photos, reactions, and debates all piled up, the reported engagement had become much bigger than Wayne and Madi. It became a mirror for how fans treat celebrity relationships in the social media era. A private choice turned into a public trial. A quiet photo turned into evidence. A young woman from Indiana turned into a trending name. A rap legend's silence turned into 1,000 theories. That is what makes this story different from a normal engagement headline. It did not arrive clean. It arrived in pieces. First came the report that Wayne had quietly proposed earlier in the year. Then fans identified Madi Cannon and started digging into her background. Then clips and photos seemed to place her closer to Wayne's world than people had realized. Then Drake's amused reaction gave the story a hip-hop angle. Then Skip Bayless posted the casual image that made the internet feel like the rumor had become reality. Then Regine Carter's silence added a family layer. Then Wayne's past relationship with Denise Bidot brought history and controversy back into the conversation. Every piece made the story heavier. But there are two ways to look at it. One version says this is a messy celebrity storm built on speculation, timing, and public judgment. In that version, Wayne is once again at the center of a headline. He refuses to explain. While fans argue over details they may never fully know, Madi becomes a target of attention she may not have expected. The relationship gets judged before it has even been publicly defined. The other version says this is simply a private love story, being invaded by people who feel entitled to Wayne's personal life. In that version, two adults are choosing each other, and the internet is turning their relationship into entertainment because Wayne is too famous to be left alone. Both versions explain why the debate refuses to end. What is clear is that Wayne remains one of the few artists whose personal choices can still shake the culture. After all these years, people still care. They care about who he loves, who reacts, who stays silent, and what it means for his legacy. That is not normal fame. That is icon status. So as of now, the reported engagement sits in that strange place between private truth and public obsession. Maybe Wayne and Madi walk down the aisle. Maybe the story fades like other rumors before it. Maybe Wayne finally speaks. Maybe he never does. But one thing is certain. The internet is watching every clue, every post, every silence, and every reaction. Because when Lil Wayne makes a move this unexpected, the rap world does not just listen, it investigates. The lesson behind the noise. At the center of this entire story is one uncomfortable truth. Fame does not make love simpler. It makes every decision louder. For an artist like Lil Wayne, even a private relationship can become a public event, not because he explains it, but because people feel connected to his legacy. Wayne is not just a rapper fans listen to, he is a figure many people grew up with. His voice was in their headphones, his lyrics shaped eras, and his influence helped build some of the biggest names in modern hip-hop. So when he makes a personal move that surprises the culture, people react like they have a personal stake in it. Strategically, Wayne's silence may be intentional. By refusing to explain every detail, he avoids feeding the outrage machine. Every public statement can become another headline, another clip, another debate. Sometimes saying less protects the people involved. But silence also has a cost. It leaves room for confusion, judgment, and speculation. In this case, the lack of clarity allowed the internet to build its own version of the relationship before Wayne ever confirmed anything directly. For Madi Cannon, the lesson is different. Being attached to a legend means attention arrives fast, and not all of it is kind. One day, she was a young woman from Indiana, with her own online world. The next, she was being judged by strangers who knew very little about her real life. That is the dangerous side of celebrity culture. People forget there are human beings behind the screenshots. For fans, the bigger lesson is about balance. It is fair to discuss public stories. It is fair to ask questions when something feels surprising. But it is not fair to turn people into targets, reduce relationships to jokes, or act like online opinions are the same as personal truth. Love, family, healing, and trust are complicated even without millions of people watching. Maybe Wayne and Madi are serious. Maybe the public still does not know the full story. Maybe this becomes a real marriage. Or maybe it becomes another chapter in Wayne's long and unpredictable life. But no matter what happens, the most human answer is to let adults make their choices, while still remembering that respect should not disappear just because a story is trending. In hip-hop, legends are often treated like characters. But behind the fame, Wayne is still a person. Madi is still a person. Regine is still a daughter. Drake is still a friend and former student. And everyone around this story deserves more than being turned into entertainment without limits. So the final question is not just whether this engagement is real. The final question is what this reaction says about us. Do we want truth, or do we just want drama? Do we want understanding, or do we just want another headline to argue about? If you think Wayne deserves peace, comment 1. If you think the public still has fair questions, comment too. And if you want more deep breakdowns on rap's biggest stories, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who follows hip-hop culture closely. Because in the rap world, the story is never just what happened. It is why everybody cares.